It's a bright and early one this morning. We're finally going back out to Angeles Crest Highway. I haven't taken the Corvette out to Angeles Crest Highway. I've literally only taken this thing out to Malibu. So it's been a while since I've been out to Angeles Crest. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is definitely a different vibe out there, but I'm excited to go out there and bring the Corvette. Time to get some footage and everything like that. But we're gonna be talking about the things that I've learned so far after owning a C5 Corvette. I'm excited to get into this one because there's a lot of stuff though that you probably wouldn't have thought of. But without further ado, let's get on the road. Let's get out to Angeles Crest Highway. Well guys, as you can see, we're out here inside Angeles Crest Highway. It's been a minute since I've been out here. I'm leaving the Corvette running just because of, yeah, I want to make sure it starts back up. I'm having some issues starting back up. I don't have any issues, don't want to get stranded way out here. So that brings me to my number one point. These things, they want to drive. Otherwise, the battery will die. No matter what, I've been pulling the fuses. I've been going through trying to figure out what's been draining it. I did find a big drain, but still, if I don't drive it within like a week or so, it'll be completely dead. For the past couple of days, I've been going out just trying to like put it on the trickle charger, just making sure that it's staying charged up. But the thing just will die if you do not keep it charged, if you don't drive it. So that's number one thing I definitely realized. These things, I mean, it's true. People were just like, yeah, these things, they feel like they're old school, like Italian cars. If you do not drive them, they will die. The battery will die. And I just want to make sure it wants to stay driving. So because when I checked last night, it was so dead that the thing didn't even make any noise at all. I had to charge it up on the trickle charger for like a while. So just want to make sure she's staying running clean and everything like that. Reason why she's running behind me. But yeah, that's the first thing I realized. You gotta keep these things driving. Guys, the other thing that I realized with driving the C5 Corvette is not many people really want to race me as much as what I thought it would be. By the way, the sun is coming out. It's absolutely beautiful outside. But yeah, not as many people want to race me as what I thought it would be. Honestly, it could be a me type of situation because I feel like on the road, I'm a much more chill driver. I really don't do anything crazy. I don't drive reckless on the road. I feel like when I had my old school V6 Camaro, more people wanted to race me. And that's kind of funny. Like literally, I feel like people in the Corvette, they don't really want to. I'm not sure why, but yeah, that's one thing I definitely noticed. Even inside of like my old Challenger, even inside my wife's Mustang, I feel like not many people really want to race or anything like that. Only really count on one finger how many times people, like legit people, wanted to like really race. And speaking of driving these things, other thing is though, I would say honestly, stock for stock, they're quick. They are quick. Like, it's strange. If you've driven other performance cars, you won't be like blown away. They still are relatively quick for stock. Getting the LS1, it still gets, you know, you do get a lot of horsepower for, you know, the actual weight of the vehicle. These things are actually like pretty stout. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to get the C5 over the C4 when I was thinking about it. The C4, that LT engine, it's just, if you're gonna do it, you might as well get the LS1. Even if it's not the Z06, just the base LS1 engine, it's pretty stout. It is fairly quick, I will say. It's not the fastest thing in the world. If you've driven like super high horsepower cars before, it's not gonna feel like insane. Coming from other vehicles we had in the past. Does it feel like mind-boggling fast? No, but it still feels very quick compared to like the Focus RS, wife's Mustang GT, the Veloster N, the Challenger RT, or even the Miata. It's definitely like way up there as far as like horsepower and like how quick it feels, especially out even in the canyons. Like in the canyons, this thing though, honestly, feels the best out of all the cars. I would say the Veloster N probably felt the second best over even my Focus RS. I feel like the Veloster N was like perfect for the canyons, perfect. Especially even more on like more tighter roads, like out in Malibu. Out here, you can really feel the horsepower and like really like rev this thing out. And yeah, man, it's definitely no slouch, that's for sure. In a straight line, other cars can beat it for sure. I mean, you know, that it is what it is. But out here in the canyons where, you know, it actually matters, this thing has so much grip. Even with this just has some 275s on this thing it grips so well. Out in the canyons, this thing is amazing. I'm sure on the highway, you know, probably the Mustang GT will pull on this thing. It's relatively stock right now, so it probably wouldn't be, you know, actually, to tell you the truth, I don't really know, to tell you the truth, but I think the Mustang would pull on this on the highway, but out in the canyons, this thing is great. So that is another thing. Like, I know, it's not as cool as if some people wanted to get like, you know, a RX-7 or something like that, but just look at it. It does look really cool. Other thing I do want to mention, if you are taller, like I have the camera set up on top of the Corvette. If you are taller, you can still get in and out of it. It is kind of a pain, but it's not like too bad. I did have to kind of move my, the sun visors like completely over. I think I'm gonna take them off because they really get in the way. If your head's like too high, you can't like really see, but it's not too bad. That is one thing though I am noticing. I was able to even drive the Miata. That was like a pain getting in and out, and I really couldn't see anything at all. Like my head was like too high, so I really couldn't see. In here, it's a lot better. Well, maybe not a lot better. It is better, but if you are taller, you still are gonna have those issues, but you can still drive it. I would say probably if you get up to, I mean, you can probably still drive these things if you're like 6'6", 7", you probably can still drive this thing. If you are taller, you can still drive. And then speaking of interiors, the other thing is though that I realized with this thing is these stock seats suck. So if you have a C5 Corvette, a lot of people will tell you that the stock seats, they do suck. The stock seat rails, I think they still have some give to them. So under hard acceleration and hard braking, they still slightly move. So you feel yourself kind of moving. And there's a lot of issues with these, especially with the electronics sometimes, that they can be drawing power. If you have the powered ones like I did, they can still be drawing power. There's a lot of small little things that they can go wrong with them. The reason why I elected to just replace my seats with these aftermarket seats, and it made the car feel so much better. It holds me in so much better. It honestly makes the car feel faster because of I'm like locked into my position, so I can feel all the G's when I'm accelerating, decelerating, and turning. The car feels a lot faster. So that's another thing. If you are going to get a C5 Corvette, I would highly suggest just taking out the stock seats, getting some aftermarket seats. I know there's a lot of people out there who are probably going to be selling their stock seats just like I saw at first, because my seats were kind of ripped up. And I saw other people were selling like stock, like black seats. I was like, oh cool, maybe I'll just buy those. They were super cheap. After doing some more research, I'm like, oh, this is the reason why, because the seats suck. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm selling my seats now for like super cheap because of, I mean, honestly, at this point, I kind of want someone to just take them out of the garage because I don't have any need for them at all. But yeah, if you are going to get a C5 Corvette, I would highly suggest getting aftermarket seats. That is another quick thing. But guys, when it really came down to buying the C5 Corvette, I really had so many different options, so many different choices. But if you want to know why I chose to get the C5 Corvette over everything else, check out this video right here. You really need to check that video out. Subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next video. See you guys.